show me yours. Where failure speaks volumes. Jason and Re getting real, drop brutal business truths. No sugar coated, only raw lessons shared. Tuning out on your mistakes, show me yours.
Hello and welcome to season 2 of Show Me Yours. I am Reanna Werner, and I've got Jason Sheffield here, your co-host of Show Me Yours, and we are so excited to bring you season 2. Last year, we kicked off Show Me Yours with a wonderful schedule of incredible guests, which was really exciting to go through because we made that transition with you, our viewers and our audience and our listeners and all of our people. And we made the transition from BRW and HR branches over to Savion. And so our community got to watch that in real time and also experience it through the eyes of also our guests and their own business experiences, which was really cool to see. So reflecting back on season 1, it was an honor. And we are even more excited to share the momentum of season 2 and what we've got to bring. Just as a little reminder, we switched things up last season. We had just kind of some standard questions to begin with, but then Jason was like, this is boring. And so he introduced our third co-host, The Bucket. Jason, tell him about your brilliance here.
Well, yeah, we introduced The Bucket, which has about 70 questions, all dealing with business success, failures, lessons learned, kind of the whole idea of show me yours. Some of them are kind of vulnerable. Some of them might be a little bit silly. But the idea is it helps us kind of dive deeper than just the traditional questions maybe Rhea and I might ask. So we introduced it right at the end of last season. If you didn't see some of those episodes, especially with like Jonathan Liebert and Brandon Eldridge, we shifted the bucket up even for that to make them like AI specific questions. So you never know what the bucket's going to bring, and excited to dive in. So Rhea, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest today?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you guys. You guys, I've at first admired you for years. I mean, even when you first started Yobel and you guys had the road show. I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if I told you guys this. You came to my church a couple times. Yeah. I think it was every Mother's Day you would come. And so I've always been a huge fan of Yobel. And then you guys had your old location. We'll probably end up talking about that at some point. So I'm not going to spoil the story here. Started to get to know you guys then because, still obsessed with your shop and what you guys do. And then you moved right across the way from us.
We did.
And now, you know what that means for me? I get in trouble pretty frequently. I go shopping and have drinks, which is wonderful. And full disclosure, #life goal is to own one of Clay's pieces of art. One day I will. One day.
About that at all.
It is definitely a life goal. Hint, Brian. Hint. Our 20th anniversary is coming up in a couple years.
There you go.
Okay, so without further ado, I have Clay and Emily Ross with Yobel and the Lookup Gallery. And we are actually sitting here drinking a little bourbon as a nod to the foundation. Yes. Clay, why don't we have you start by telling us about Lookup, my life goal, and the foundation you guys just started.
Oh, yeah, sure. So in our old space, we started gallery. We tend to... We're really proud to be we say that we are the best concierge this side of anywhere.
Yes.
So when people would come into our old shop, we'd love to tell them where to eat and drink. We'd always joke that, if you're visiting, we promise we won't tell you where to hike. You're in Colorado, you can figure that out on your own. But we'd love to tell you where to eat, drink, shop, see art. And whether it was people visiting or locals, most would say, wait, there's art in Colorado Springs? Yeah, there's really incredible art in Colorado Springs. And so we'd tell them about Surface and Auric Gallery and where to see all these amazing local artists. And so we were sitting on the couch one night and we're like, what if people could come in and we can introduce them to art. Because a lot of people want to see art, but it's just not on their radar, so they're not going to a gallery. So what if they just happened upon it and we could be the ones to introduce them? So if you walk in, you look up and there's art. Because we had a smaller boutique, we didn't really have an extra room or space to create a gallery, so we just made the gallery within our space. And so we installed these grids that were at angle, so when you look up, it was still line of sight. It didn't distort the artwork. And so, that was the start of the Lookup Gallery. And I put one show together just so we can show artists what we're capable of in that space. And it gained popularity really quick. And so, fast forward, now in our new space, before we just did solo shows, so we did one artist a month, and now we have 30 artists in our space. So 24 in our member gallery, and then we have another 7 art studios in our space. And most recently, we started Primer, which is, it's really hard to be an artist. The age-old starving artist thing is true. And so I always like to share with people that if you go to an art show and you're looking at a body of work, a collection together, on average it takes an artist about a year to complete a body of work. And so, people don't see the behind the scenes. It's like any other business, it's just like, if you own something, you must be killing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, let's see some
That's
art
furthest from the truth, by the
and
way.
a price tag, and there's a major disconnect of what goes into that. And so, all of our artists, we have a member gallery, so artists rent a space from us, and then we have 6 art studios that we lease, and it's a year lease.
Number 7 is Clay's art studio, so that's why we only rent out 6. That includes Clay.
So the example that we give a lot is one of our artists last year, she had a really successful show. This particular artist, she does large-scale, hyper-realistic oils, and it took her 2 years to complete this body of work. Wow. And in Colorado, we kind of max out for a large-scale piece of fine art between $2,000 and $5,000 is kind of where we max out for one piece. Well, so if that's our baseline, she sold a piece for $15,000. So in our market,
Oh
and I'm not
my
just talking about
gosh.
Colorado Springs, but just Colorado in general, in our market, that's wow. So, and she sold half of her show. I mean, that was the largest piece that she sold. So again, on the outside looking in, she's a real artist. She's arrived. She's killing it, right?
But $15,000 is still not livable.
Yes,
Well, and that's the whole point.
exactly. Yep.
And so again, that show took her 2 years to complete. Her overhead just of supplies, because she painted on aluminum panels, was about $5,000 with panels and paint. She takes home about $20,000 after the split with the gallery, and then taxes. And then if you do the math, she's making about $400 a month, and she rents a studio from us for $455 a month. So it's an artist who's arrived, who's crushing. She's our idol. We all want to be like her. She's not.
And she's losing $5 a month.
Yeah, $55.
So if you just look across the board,
Poor
anyone
thing.
that's doing a show is making somewhere between 7 cents and $7 an hour.
An hour for this extreme skill.
So we started Primer. You can check it out at primer.art to create subsidies for our artists that we represent. And super proud, as of 2 days ago, we have awarded all 6 of our studio artists subsidies. That's April to April, so it will reduce their rent by half for an entire year.
Yeah.
By half.
By half.
So now she can actually earn
A little bit.
a little bit. She has enough for dinner.
Right. Yes, exactly.
One night.
Exactly.
A nice dinner.
Yeah,
one
we
night.
just want to reduce the burden because
Yeah.
artists are going to art. We just have to. But we just want to, reduce the barrier of actually creating works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Yay.
But then the start of all of this was Yobel.
Correct.
Yeah. So how did Yobel hit a couple of former recovered pastors and convert you to
HR. Remember, we have the HR nerd inside us, right? Yeah.
So what is that story there?
Yeah, we've both always loved fashion. We both grew up here, went to different high schools, but met when we were teenagers. Clay would make a lot of his own clothes with another friend of ours who's one of our artists in our gallery. I made a lot of my own clothes. I wanted to be a designer, go to Parsons School Design, but I wanted to do like Met Gala, red carpet, one-of-a-kind couture pieces. So kind of my only outlet for that was prom and homecoming. Every year I'd make my own dresses, do a lot of beadwork, use silks. And my grandma, my aunt, and my mom all taught me how to sew. So we would make all these pieces together, and then I'd just kind of make my own stuff too. But then, discovering sweatshops, kind of where everything ended up coming from, are sweatshops. So all these clothes, even the designer brands, are not paying their garment workers very well. So that came across, my knowledge. I guess I learned that around 16 or 17. And so I thought, oh, you know what? I'll just get really rich as a fashion designer. I'll get super wealthy. I'll buy all the sweatshops in the world and make them better. I'll just change it.
As we say,
we're 16. That won't be a problem at all. Put daycares in there, air conditioning. I had even no idea what people were going through truly. But so fast forward, I did end up getting into banking and then human resources and family and all the things. But one of the first companies that I was obsessed with was Tom's. So that, founder is worth $500 million, at least now. He's sold most of it by now, but he was making all that profit not by exploiting people. He was actually, being able to spread the wealth, essentially. Yeah. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about, because I was trying to find more brands. How can I shop without buying stuff that comes from exploited people? Yobel is another one of those places. In about 2008, our good friends co-founded Yobel when they were traveling the world, seeing a need, for people to make a livable wage and to not be exploited. So they started kind of doing the pop-ups, like you mentioned, Reanna, just the different church events or markets or selling out of the back of their car. I mean, whatever it would be, and bringing stuff back from their travels overseas. So we both were involved with Yobel pretty early on.
Super
fans.
Not hard.
Yeah, not hard, right? Just so excited that there were some alternatives to just the, kind of basic fashion. Now it's called fast fashion. There wasn't really a term for that for a while. But anyway, so fast forward that, our friend Sarah called us on our honeymoon, said, wait, I don't know what it is about you guys in Yobel, but there's something. So a couple years later after that, she was ready to sell the retail portion of it. She writes curriculum and teaches business overseas, so she was still doing that part. And her family travels quite a bit for both she and her husband's jobs. So we bought in 2019, 6 months before the world shut down. We bought our business. Yep. We had a good 6 months.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
We moved into our first office space about 6 months before the world shut down. I know what you mean.
Yeah. We were both still working full-time jobs, and our kids were at home, doing the virtual school thing. So we were running it on the side, and yeah.
Is that when you guys opened up the brick and mortar?
Well, it was. It had already gone through a couple
iterations.
Farmers markets to OCC was the first brick and mortar.
Oh,
and
okay.
Then when they started doing more international business training, moved under the bridge over by the depot, and
I had no
they were
clue.
doing more
Sierra Madre.
wholesale and curriculum at that time, and then refocused and moved into Ivywild, the little space by a principal's office.
Okay.
So that's when we bought it, when it was there. And so it was like the size of this room.
Yeah, probably about the size of this
about
room.
200 square feet. Like we invented social distancing.
Yeah, we kind of did.
If someone came in, someone had to leave. You know, there wasn't room for two. But at the time,
Cute
it was
little spot.
accessories, like women's accessories, jewelry, and bags. And our dream was to be able to do head-to-toe, men's and women's, everything ethically. And that was kind of like our 5-year dream
Yeah,
plan.
maybe I can quit,
We
you
can
know,
get
my
a-
day job
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
expand and
We can find a place downtown. We really wanted to be downtown. And so, yeah, we had 6 months, and then world shut down. And it was either, you know, because of that space, it's an event space, so the capacity is different than just a store. So when all the rest of retail was reopening, because we were in an event space, we couldn't reopen. So the Ivy Wild was closed for a year. And so it was either we had a decision to make whether to, okay, well, that was a fun 6 months, we go out of business, or we fast forward our business plan and we try to track down some more loans and find a place, and we found a place, and it was already kind of gutted.
Yeah.
So we found some more money and did a build out and sourced from everywhere we possibly could, and it was a mad
did
dash.
that in about 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Took some vacation time from our own jobs, or just, you know, would do stuff after work and all night. And so we ended up being closed 4 months total during 2020. So from, March 16th to July, mid-July.
Considering everything you were
essentially, too.
faced with, that's not bad at all.
It was pretty good. It was
Wow.
It
fast.
was really fast. Yeah.
Kind of had that one opportunity,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then your building burnt down.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had a good 6 months, then we
Three-
moved, and then we had a good 3 years, and then we
Yeah.
had a fire. Yes.
Yeah, the restaurant next door to us. We live so close too. I heard all these sirens that morning. I'm getting ready, like finishing up my makeup and my hair, and like getting ready to go open the shop. And you know, gosh, something big must be happening. Oh my gosh, there's more and more sirens. And then my phone started blowing up. We think your building's on fire, you know. So I mean, I was on my way anyway. So all these. It took me like 30 minutes to even just get to the block and stuff. So we lost everything in that fire from the restaurant fire next door to us in 2023, December.
And then you
Yeah.
guys picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and you rented another studio, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Above.
at that point, we had already spent, it's probably a year and a half looking for a new space, because we had added the gallery, and we really wanted to expand, create a space where people can just come have a drink, hang out, shop if they want to, look at art, but we really wanted to create a space where people can actually just be. You know, we remember growing up, and you go to like the hip hop shop or the skate shop, and there's a bench in the back, and you can go sit, watch some videos, and then go hit the park. And you didn't have to buy a deck or clothes; you could just be. And we really wanted to create that kind of space. So we had already been looking, and so after the fire, although it was devastating, we're like, you know, we're kind of, both of us are kind of positive to a fault.
Yeah, maybe a little too much.
Yeah, I definitely will like see red a lot faster. Emily's like the kind of person that's like, you know, hands in the fire, like it's a little warm. You know,
My hand will heal.
Like, whips through your living room and destroys everything, and Emily's like, it's a bit breezy. You know?
It'll all work out. It's fine. It's
And then
fine.
by
It's
the time she
fine.
finally is like, oh, things are bad, I was like, I've been saying that for months.
Thanks for joining the party.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
we had already been kind of like working towards that, and so we were both like, okay, this sucks, but let's just use this as an opportunity to really move us into the next phase. And so we were both we just looked at it as an opportunity. And
Yeah.
from December 4th, 23 is when the fire was, to January 1, rent went up 50% downtown.
Just in those
Just,
couple weeks, that like month or 6
overnight,
weeks.
Holy
really,
macaroni.
for no reason. And
Wow.
and we looked and we looked and we worked and we worked. I mean, it was every day, all day. I never, ever, ever, ever want to look at
LoopNet.com.
LoopNet is the worst. Can they take some notes from Zillow?
I know.
So many properties. So
many properties, so many build out like ideas, and every space was also like a different budget for build out, a different, you know. And again, we wanted to stay downtown. We live downtown. We, you know, it's just our vibe. So yeah, all those spaces, and then we kind of felt like Goldilocks at one point, like this one's too small, this one has too much asbestos, and the landlord wants us to abate it. This one's too far away, this one's, doesn't have enough foot traffic, or, so all those iterations, looking back sometimes on challenging journeys, it's like, oh, that did help us get to really knowing what we could afford, what we really wanted to do, really hone in on that. And we helped spread some words and just concepts too. I think we did some polling with our current, our peers paying rent, just to kind of shed some light on the issue of the cost of rent for, retail spaces specifically, but also restaurants. We're all friends downtown. Yeah. We get to brag all the time that our downtown is all locally owned. I mean, we're not anchored by a huge, chain, whether it be a restaurant or a retail space, a big company. And so all of us link arms, through COVID, through the fire. Clay went through another fire in a studio after that because of a Bingo Burger fire. Anyway, just all these things. And we love each other and we want to support each other. And it's like, we're calling them, do you need help? We learned way too much about fires. Do you, do you have any questions? We all want to survive and thrive in our downtown. And so, by the time we found the space across the walkway from you all, that was our 23rd space that we looked at in 2024 to try and reopen as soon as we could.
As the saying goes, the third time's the charm.
The 23rd time's
now
the charm.
I hear, because of all of these fires, that's why you will never serve a smoky old fashioned in your facility.
Not.
Or mezcal. We don't want the smoky smell. Little PTSD from the 2 fires. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What a journey.
Yes.
Well, Emily, thank goodness for your eternal optimism, because who knows if you would have made it across this finish line and gotten you across the way from us. And what a spectacular space that space is.
We love it. Yeah.
We walked in and just knew it.
For 25 years, and we feel like we redeemed the space.
Oh. Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Absolutely. From server walls, I'm sure.
Yeah, server walls, cinder blocks instead of windows, and all the things we walked in.
It truly is everything that Emily and I both, together and separately, since we were kids, have dreamt of.
Yeah, all under one roof.
It's pretty awesome.
We still pinch ourselves every day we get to go in there.
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing? Like, achieving your dreams is never easy.
No.
It never is. Otherwise, everybody would achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
You've got to fight for it.
Yeah, and you put a lot up for it. It's, that whole idea. We have some friends that lost their business. They had to close a couple years back, and, all the people outside looking in, again, similar to the art story of just, you own a business, you must just be, flourishing and crushing it and all the things. And really, I'm looking at this little sticker right here, actually. It says, I gave up my 9 to 5 to work 24/7. And it truly is that. Like, but it's what we love, and we all need to work. We love to work, and then just, the opportunities in our lives and different, seizing the moment. Clay ended up being laid off his full-time job in the middle of our build-out last year, and so we're like, well, I guess that decision's made for, we'd hoped to get him full-time too, because I had finished up my HR career a couple years prior, about a year before the fire, so we wanted that to be the case, that we could just both be in our space all the time, full-time. But we're like, all right, let's do it.
Now or now.
Now, and we can eat ramen noodles every night. It's fine. And so just the different, sacrifices, but good ones. And, we're working for ourselves, for our artists, for our artisans that are global, to prevent the exploitation in the fashion industry. And it's just, people are near and dear to our hearts. So we get to do that every day.
Here's to you guys.
Yeah.
You
Cheers
inspire
to the journey.
Yay.
All right. Well, I think we need to dive into the bucket to see what more wisdom we can glean from you guys. So I don't know who wants to dive in first.
Right.
Should I go?
But find...
Oh, dear. Some of these are even silly, you said?
They're all over the place.
All over the place? I'm sure they're all HR compliant, though, so don't worry.
Sometimes not.
Ree's with
I'm
us.
not HR here.
Not on the podcast.
Ree did not. So
the title of the podcast is Show Me Yours.
Show me yours. Okay, got it. Oh, man. Okay, well, this actually does kind of go along with what we were talking about, but tell us a time you almost gave up entirely on your business idea or major project. What or who pulled you back from the brink?
I think that allows us to go a little deeper into your story.
Yeah, I mean, it was exhausting, looking for the new space. That's probably the it felt a little more achievable in 2020 to kind of, because we just bought the business, we had that momentum, to kind of restart in 2020 from Ivywild to Bijou. But the year after the fire was really, really hard. Tons of paperwork too, insurance is nuts. And so all these different hats, again, that folks don't understand we have to wear, right? Like, to own a business, you like, I love fashion. Oh, I didn't know that would mean, reporting sales tax every month and, doing Instagram and all these things, and then taxes and all the, buying and tariffs now and all the things. But so towards the end of 2024, we were pretty exhausted. Just hopes up for several places that didn't work out. We tried to buy a couple places. Maybe that would help us long term too, to have, capital in a building but we were almost about ready to just pause intentionally looking for a space because it was so exhausting. And then we walked into here. So
there was a lot of conversations. I think I hit the wall sooner than you do.
Yeah.
So there was several, on the porch, like, babe, it's over.
It might be over.
It's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
But there's, the end of that question is like, who pulled you out of it? I mean, definitely, like, even just from the get, after the fire, if it was just me, because they didn't have a system, our insurance didn't have a system where you can just take your inventory and be like, ka-toom, there you go.
Upload your business personal property.
It was every single thing one by. We had to do
my goodness.
Emily. So there's a lot of those kinds of things.
It's about 80 hours of work.
Like, where most people would say, well, this isn't possible. And then it's like, well, you haven't met Emily. It's like getting our liquor license in a gallery and boutique. They're like, it's not possible. You can't do that. Well, you haven't met Emily. So it's going to happen. Yeah. So
find a way.
You guys are making me reflect back on Brian and I. And do you guys get this a lot? Isn't it hard to work with your spouse? Isn't that terrible? Gosh, I appreciate
how do you do it?
Yeah, but Brian and I think, are similar to you guys. We carry each other through.
Yeah.
Right? Those conversations, like you talked about that conversation on the porch. And I mean, it brought back just like this rush of memories between Brian and I having very similar conversations, but it was just lifting each other up. Emily taking on that inventory to get shit done.
Yeah.
And
Clay being the extrovert and going and meeting with people.
We are the exact opposite strengths of each other, and so it just happens to work. We know that it's not the roadmap. No one has to do that. It just happens to work for us. And we do love people, but people also suck.
Very draining.
But we are the people.
I've built a career on that.
People, we're the people that we want to be with always. And it's every day is really fun.
It's fun.
Emily.
Yeah. And the old property manager, actually, because we looked at the front of the building next door, and it was even bigger than the space we ended up with, and needed more demo for what we would have done.
Are you talking about the one over here? Right
on the front end of the building. And so the property manager at the time, she's like, what about the old Comcast? And so we hadn't even really planned to, and we're like, where's that? Just walked down the cute little cobblestone path, and seriously, with floor-to-ceiling walls and glued-down carpet and cubicles and even, like you said, server walls, all this, we were like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the space. So, even that, just some, being willing to look at one more spot kind of turned us around. And then you get nervous, like, what,
Did we just really
did we
sign
really
that
sign that? Yeah. So, yeah.
I drew probably 154 plans.
All
before,
the year.
And as soon as we left that space, we went straight to Urban Animal.
Urban Animal, I got some beers and started
drawing floor plans.
Like,
Did you really?
This is it.
Oh my gosh.
So, anyway.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty spectacular.
It's awesome.
Lots of hard times, lots of moments.
Almost a 4-month build out, 2025. So we opened mid-April. Yeah.
Coming up on a year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
All right,
let's
that
move on
was,
to the
I
next
think
one.
that was that question,
That was
right?
great. That was a great segue right into it.
I was worried I was going to get something silly because I'm not the funny one. So.
Beyond the oops moments, what's a core belief about business you once held? firmly that has since been completely shattered.
Mm.
Oh, actually, yeah, I know how to answer this. I think, I don't know if it's necessarily so much just about owning a business as it is the times that we're in owning a business.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we have these conversations every day.
Multiple
But I mean,
times a day.
since COVID, like whatever your baselines were before, whatever matrix you use, like
Metrics, yeah.
they don't
doesn't exist.
They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like every day, every month, every year, you're pivoting and trying to figure it out. And I mean, for example, right now we know is our scary season. First quarter is for retail is always just like, I hope we make it. I hope we make it. I hope we make it.
Get to spring break.
But usually, fourth quarter is the Super Bowl for retail.
Yeah.
So you usually have some, gas in the tank and a little bit of reserve to carry you through the really, scary month. Well, last year, government shuts down. There's all, the world is on fire. All the things that are happening right now. Fourth quarter tanked.
Yeah.
November was the scariest month ever.
Probably.
And it's during like the height of like, okay, we're celebrating right now.
Yeah.
Small Business Saturday, we had 4 other small business owners just come sit at our bar and like, can we hang out? Today sucks.
Oh my
So bad.
gosh.
So I think that's kind of, it makes it hard to, you could talk to somebody that maybe was a serial entrepreneur before and retired and everything. Oh, you just have to do this and you have to do that and make sure you're looking year over year. Like those don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of like, you want to be smart and wise, make good decisions and plan and everything. But the ways that we used to do that have been completely shattered.
Yeah. Are there new patterns that you guys are picking up on at all?
Well, I think, sorry.
Maybe, yeah, no, go ahead.
I think for everybody, some of it is smart, wise, fun. Some of it's just necessary and expected. But the fact that businesses now can't do one thing. So you have to have multiple revenue streams.
Yeah.
You have to have multiple expressions. If you do beer, you can't just do beer. You need to have like goat yoga.
Yeah.
Also, you have to have
Yeah.
like, someone bringing your beer down on silks from the ceiling. Like,
Yeah.
there has to be an
Yeah.
I mean, we had some friends
Does someone really do that?
probably somewhere, I'm
They
sure.
want Vegas everywhere,
we
I
had
guess.
friends that had
True.
a brewery that actually had a circus at their
Every
property
summer.
every year.
Yeah.
And the constant,
Oh.
and we get this all the time, where people come in and like, what events do you have going on? Like,
What's
this
next?
is the event, man. Like, we open 12 to 7. That's the event.
We have a bar, we have a gallery, we have a
it's an
boutique.
event,
You can watch people paint. You can come, like, what else? Like, and yeah, people want to know what else are you going to do.
People want experience.
Yeah.
They don't want to just go into a store anymore and purchase something. They want that experience.
Yeah.
That's
Which is part of kind of
interesting.
why we did. I mean, again, we've always dreamt of like, gosh, if there was a space that we could do these things, and that's
Right.
what we're doing. Because we do, we've always been kind of more experience and story based because of Yobel. And, we have over 60 global artisans that we curate pieces from around the globe, like 20 countries. So we've always been in the business of sharing stories. And I think that also, so people that even have moved away that used to love Yobel still shop online because they connected with stories and the mission behind it or the purpose. Social impact businesses are actually gaining because it offers a little bit more than just a transaction.
Yeah.
And we've always been that. So that's great. But also we're like, how do we keep people in our space, a drink, whether it's kombucha or poppy soda or, our Clay's Brothers Axe in the Oak bourbons or whiskeys. You can kind of buy that moment with people and you get to know them too. They'll sit at the bar for a minute. They'll share a story where they're from, where they're visiting, or gosh, I never knew this block was so cool downtown. Why don't people come downtown more often? It's so great. Stuff like that. So we definitely, with the different revenue streams with us, that was part of it to reopen. We knew we couldn't just have one aspect, but it is still a constant thing. Oh, you guys do birthday parties in here? sorry, not sorry, we have one of the coolest buildings in the entire city.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, no, I don't think so. Maybe, well, you just have to move everything out. You know, I just want a venue space. Like, well, that's not who we are. This is who we are.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, we try to do what we can, but that's another hat that is so taxing. We've started to do some events if it fits with our, you know, our scope as well. You know, always come and like have a happy hour. You know, my friend's mom brought her mom's group, you know, while we're open, just meet there for happy hour before you go grab dinner someplace, you know, else on the block. So we love that. And it is about experience, but it's also a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And it's very new that people, you can't just walk in and walk out anymore.
Interesting.
And I mean, First Fridays is also a major
yeah.
anchor for you guys, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's a key piece. And
Best day of the month.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, we have always done First Fridays. Before we had the lookup gallery on Bijou, we would still stay open and hope that we could just, you know, point people to our favorite galleries or what, you know, whatever that meant. Those weren't quite as successful. But once we had art in 2022 and we started the lookup gallery and there was a solo show every month that we could feature, it just became so fun. So we stay open till 9 and we continue that. 5 to 9 is the event time. We open at noon, of course, anyway, but 5 to 9, most of our artists are there. Some of them might have a solo show elsewhere or something. But the majority of our artists are there. We'll have a couple of them painting live. We have a DJ. When it's nice out, last summer was super fun because we had our painters painting live in the alley. Louie Louie's was bringing out a piano for about an hour before their show started. You know, Kawadi's right there. Just the energy in the alley is so fun. And we get to brag about our artists and just share, you know, their stories. And a lot of them don't like to brag about themselves, so we get to do that.
I'm curious, kind of on the vein of this question, Clay, what have you learned about a nonprofit and starting a nonprofit and the business elements of nonprofit and like the intersection of like leaning into that, getting that set up to where you now are successful in supporting your artists? But I'm kind of curious, like what previous business things did you bring into, or what new business things have you picked up from really leaning into the nonprofit side of things?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's probably a really great question for 2 years from now.
Okay. But you're fresh. You're in it.
Fresh,
I did, prior to us owning Yobel, I did a little bit of development fundraising for them, kind of to fuel the educational piece. And that was very short-lived because I was doing that very part-time and I had a full-time job, so just didn't have the capacity for it. And then, you know, I've worked for other nonprofits and you know, planted a church, and so not foreign to raising funds, but everything is a brand new thing. You know, whatever you think you know that you think it applies to whatever you're doing new doesn't apply. You know, and so. Yeah, I think it's a really good question for 2 years from now. I think we're just trying to figure it out. I think this just rings true for both of us. Like, a lot of times we don't know the how. We just know the why, and so we have to. So we know that, you know, there's 70 million garment workers worldwide, and less than 2% are paid a livable wage. Like, we have to do something about that. Now we know the how, but, you know, it gets increasingly more challenging. Like last year, tariffs, you know, kicked us in the teeth. This year, it's the throat and the teeth. We know that we need art in our world. We know that it is a powerful voice and cure, but it's hard. And so we know that we have to support artists. We know that why. How? It's like we'll figure that out on the way. And I think that's kind of where we land a lot, you know. And maybe our only, I don't know if you guys know Enneagram at all, but we're both 9s, so we're the peacemakers. So our like knockdown, drag out fights are like, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You go
sorry.
first. You go first.
So a lot of times when we're talking about these kinds of things, I'm like, you know, there's a need. I'm like, oh, hey babe, I have an idea. And she's like, oh gosh.
Okay, babe, tell me the idea. I'll write it down. Yeah, he's the P on the Myers-Briggs too. I'm the J, so dreamer, executor, like again, a lot of opposite strengths and stuff like that.
I
So
just had another idea this week that I thought would be super beneficial for artists and everything. And
I hope you guys are watching on camera right now and seeing Emily's face.
I love him so much,
but when would we
When do we do
possibly
this?
ever be able to do that?
we're closed
How?
on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we still both work
Work
all day
all day
Tuesdays and
long.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And Clay needs time to paint, so yeah, it's just those things. And maybe just not know, but not yet, or when would this fit?
Yeah.
You know, with the scope after maybe we get some momentum, and with the nonprofit, you know, our 501c3 was on hold because the government shut down. So thank goodness for Downtown Partnership and Ventures. They were able to be our fiscal sponsor for a while, and then last week we got our 501c3, so we're good to go. But you know, some of those things are still new as well, and so yeah, we always want to help. We always want to say yes. So it's just kind of finding the right time to do all the things we want to do.
I think the other thing that I would add that I actually have learned, not just like, hey, we know why, let's go figure it out. Community will show up if you
Yeah.
let it. you
Yeah.
know? And so, I mean,
Yeah.
we started a nonprofit in October, and government got shut down, so we had to pump the brakes hard. We did our first donor party, and then like we get pushed back to the back of the list, and we're like, oh my gosh, we might not even, like, we have everything else, but we might not have our 501c, and we can't raise funds. We're going to have
Can't
to give all
receipt
this
people,
money back.
yeah.
We had a really great first night, you know,
Yeah.
and so like just had to pump the brakes and everything, figure out another way, figured out that you can have a fiscal sponsor. Asked the community, Downtown Partnership stepped in big and became our fiscal sponsor, which means they handle all of the funds on our behalf.
All the donations, the receipts, the year-end, you know,
Yeah.
giving notices.
And so, I mean, that was a 2-month gap of us, like, you know, we'd have one party and then you go, like, just ghost for 2 months. It's like, hey, we're doing this. Don't look at me.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do this. Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
not happening. So we didn't get the fiscal sponsorship wasn't official till the end of December. So it's 2 months before we could like kind of like start things again, and then like we just recently. But with all those hiccups and everything, we've still been able to raise just over $20,000, which is funded 6 artists.
Six
that
artists,
year.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love that you said community though, because even in the fire, even like I mentioned a little bit earlier, like all of us know each other. You know, we already knew, you know, Ari that owns Streetcar, and we know Lucas and Joe that own Cork and Cask, and we know, Aaron that owns Kawadi. Like when we were like looking at this block, we called all of our friends, like we might be neighbors, and everybody's cheering for us, and it's so exciting. And how can we work together? That's always, what can we do? What can we do? You know, Paul at Louis, again, too, they're newer on the block as well. And it's like, what can we do to help? And it really, truly is community will show up. And even just a couple texts, like, is there a way to do this without our 501c3? Oh, hold on. And, you know, you get a phone call and somebody, you know, we can do this. Or we thought we could do this, but how about you check with them? And, you know, just really, really incredible. We love
We're leaving here to go meet with Paul.
with Paul at Louis to do
plan
another
a
fundraiser.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah. It's just so fun.
Going back to the business question, I think this is really interesting kind of segue into it, you know. Clay, months and months and months ago, you and I had a conversation about artists forgetting that their business is a business and that business aspect of it. And I think that goes for the same for nonprofit as well. Fast forward, you say, you know, this would be a great question for 2 years from now. But Emily, I think that's the solution. Like nobody in business is an expert in everything, right? Like I know HR, Brian knows accounting, attorneys know attorney things. You know, everybody has their own specialty, but if you can just tap into your community and have people to talk to, that's when you find those solutions. Like you should never know it all in business, but you should know at least how to ask a question. I think that's just so important. And
Well, and I think it's important 2 ways. I think you need the people that have gone before or gone with, or you know, have a different level of expertise in different areas. That's so vitally important. And we do have that in spades in Colorado Springs, because I always tell people, whoever you think your competition is your cheerleader. Guaranteed. But the other part of that is you need those people in your life that are in the trenches that can cuss and cry with you.
Yes.
We have a lot of really great friends that own businesses, but we have a small group of friends that we get together every Christmas.
If all else fails.
For Christmas drinks.
Week
Even if
before
we couldn't
Christmas.
see each other all year, we get together for Christmas drinks once a year. And the name of the group is Small Business Suckers / Survivors.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, who's who? The ones that decided to, stop their business or had to stop or whatever, or are continuing for the third time like us, or, who's who. So, yeah, we all link arms, and it's
You
great.
have to. Nobody else really understands.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Did you
All right,
say
Emily, ask.
we had
Yes.
3?
One
One
Okay.
more.
One more. Because we're almost. Okay. If you could unsend one email or unsay one thing to a client or employee, what would it be and why?
That's a good one.
And I'm an introvert, so sometimes it takes me a minute to think. Because there's a couple of these back in my HR days.
You can go to.
Oh, yeah.
Unsay one thing. Can you think of anything for me?
Not for you.
I feel bad.
Well, she's just really good.
I always feel
she has a lot of
bad
tact.
I do try that. I try to reread emails. That also, you learn that like in HR world,
Yeah.
like reread your emails. You send someone's budget for their raises to the wrong John or something, like the wrong boss. Like, oh, those aren't your staff. Can you send that back? Pretend you didn't see those salaries or something. But
I sent an email one time, just to give you guys some
Yeah,
time to
I
think
know.
and process. I sent an email one time early in my career, and I meant to say sorry about the incompetence, and it came out and auto-corrected to sorry about the inconstinence.
incontinence. Oh my gosh. Yeah, spell check is getting worse and worse
Oh my
too.
God.
The
What was
suggested
the one
things.
on our donor thing?
Oh, yeah, it is a bummer. We printed a bunch of our pamphlets for the first donor fundraiser.
Well,
and
we
so
printed a bunch,
Well, yeah.
and then it was a ton of typos.
there were a ton of
We're like,
typos.
how
And
did
I
we
don't
not
even know
see
how,
this?
yeah, we looked at it.
So then we proofed it, got it fixed, and everything, sent it back. They got it. So for our first party, we're
Fundraiser.
passing these out, and there's still a typo.
It said, annual goal. And that could have
could've
been
been
a lot
worse.
worse, actually. Annual could have come out, yeah. So thank goodness. Yeah, thank goodness that's all it was.
We'll have
So
different
I
goals.
think we have 3 or 10 left of those, and we'll get those reprinted. Yeah, I don't know. I try to be very tactful all the time. I'm definitely not perfect with my words, but I
Pretty
think...
damn. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unsay something. Oh, even when I've raised my voice at the kids, it's like, I'm sorry, I feel bad, but there was still a reason. I don't know.
I don't think
sorry.
you probably have an example in your life for that.
Yeah.
What about you, Clay?
Oh no.
So many.
Oh, no.
Probably the most recent was several months ago. Had a young artist that wanted to show with us. I had spent a lot of time with this individual, and when he came to us, he wasn't quite ready, and so I was just trying to coach him a little bit, and so then gave him an opportunity, and he was really grateful. It was all great, and then that turned real quick. And
Yeah.
it was like, this is, I'm just a number for you guys, and it's like anyways. Is this like a censored thing? Is this
No, you're good.
No. Unless
I
you want to
looked at him, I
add
was
your
like-
own beeps.
I was like, that's so fucking insulting. And he's,
And then he cried.
Yeah.
So that we felt better.
come on, bud, let's go for a walk.
So
it's
sorry.
Fine. Take a deep breath. We're going to get through this and everything. But
But after months and months and months of us spending time with you, you weren't just a number, please. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That could have been more tactful, I
Yeah.
guess. But
yeah.
But the message was there.
Yeah.
Got the point across.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
we have to put our big kid pants on and just learn the lessons. So
Which
Yeah.
is tough. I have that problem, Clay.
I admire people so much that have, my brother Casey, Emily,
Yeah.
my dad, Mary Yemi, that people that can respond.
Mm.
Can take a beat, breathe, and respond.
Not react.
Not just react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quicker
It's
to
hard.
react.
Yeah. Yeah.
little
Same here.
diplomacy goes a long ways on that front.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's hard,
It's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And people often say with me, like, they know exactly where they stand
Oh, yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
You know? And I think there's something to be said
Yes.
for that.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Because if it's not coming out of my mouth, it's coming out of my face.
Yeah.
We have a couple friends like that
Yeah.
too. It's like, we always know what you're feeling. Your face is like an open book.
Yeah.
One of the founders of Yobel back in the day had a volunteer friend of ours that she would always say, man, I just love you so much because I can always tell what you're thinking and feeling by your face.
Yeah. Don't have to say a word.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you
I got
could
it.
go back with that young gentleman, the young artist, and re-say that reaction again, what would you say? How would you rephrase it?
I probably just would say that's really insulting and then tell
Yeah.
him everything else that I said that was more
Maybe the
diplomatic.
F-bomb was just
Yeah.
a little,
You know, sometimes
a little
just
heavy.
Caught him off guard, like, oh God.
Yeah.
It is an exclamation point.
It is, yeah, a strong one. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. Well, did you ever come up with anything?
I don't think so. I mean,
Sounds like you're the apology queen. Did you
I-
ever apologize
oh,
for something
I definitely say
that
sorry
you
way too
shouldn't
much.
have?
Yeah, probably
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. Yeah, maybe like raising my voice or just having a reaction. Like, I don't normally react at all.
don't.
And then I'll get like a paper cut from opening the mail and then I'll just like cry, and it's like, so that's our thing. Like, it's a paper cut because
Yeah.
it's not about a paper cut. It's about
Yeah.
6 months of
It-
stuffing
it
things
really
and
is.
it's
It's a
all
little bit
fine.
of a
It's
nine-
fine. Yeah.
some nine energy
Yeah.
there.
The nine energy of
Uh-huh.
like, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
That really did happen.
that did,
You know,
yeah.
We were in a really thick of it season with
The
life
kids
and
and-
kids
yeah.
and crisis and all this. And, Emily's holding it together.
I think we were married like 6 months, and I'm stepmom, so
Yeah.
very, very different.
Yeah.
Bringing in
So
a
I
whole
walked in the
family.
house, just got off work, come home, and hi, hon, and she got a paper cut, and just lost it. And I was like, babe, I don't feel like this matches this.
doesn't match your face.
Yeah, it doesn't match my face. It doesn't match my face. Yeah, so I definitely say sorry a lot, just hoping I don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
So I overcompensate probably for that.
Just conflict.
Yeah.
Makes
Don't
you
like
uncomfortable.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I get
Let's
that.
just make it okay.
Oh, poor paper cut.
I
But you
know,
what?
paper
In
cut.
your defense, paper cuts hurt.
They do hurt.
They hurt.
Especially the
Yes, they
edge
do.
with the glue. It was kind of deep that day.
I'm never going to
goodness.
look at a paper cut the same
Yeah.
now, Emily.
I can be a little passive aggressive, I guess, sometimes, just because I am trying to stuff it, and it's like,
Yeah.
don't want it to come out, but yeah,
Rare.
rare.
Yeah. Well, you're a saint.
Oh,
No horns holding up your halo.
oh gosh.
Well,
Yeah. What?
should we drive out home?
Absolutely.
And what do you think? And Jason, you were just about to say something.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, and we've been talking a lot about the location, what's coming up, what should people be aware of, how can they find you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a little hard to find. We're kind of like a boutique and
In a speakeasy
gallery,
place.
like had an affair with the speakeasy.
Yeah.
Hidden gem.
But
Hidden gem.
we're directly, if you're on Tejon, you can walk straight through Quadi, grab something to eat. You can order from Quadi, straight from our bar, or come down the alley. Yeah, definitely check out First Fridays, whether you're an art lover or
Yeah.
not. It is a great time. In our space, again, you don't have to shop. You can just be. Come grab a drink and just, we have really comfortable, wonderful couches. And it is a good space just to be in. I think the other thing right now is like, again, we're asking the community to step up.
Shop
and
local,
we
shop
we
small.
have
Give.
our program runs April to April, our memberships and our leases. So we have next month and a half to try to really rally and raise some more funds for the 2026 year, not 24. And then in April we'll start hitting it hard to raise funds for 2027.
The following year, yeah.
Tell us about the bottle.
Yeah.
These, so if people, you can go to primer.art, super simple, get all the info. But if people partner with us and sign up to be a monthly donor, or if they give a one-time gift of $100 or more, $200
Sorry.
more, they get
200.
Exclusive incline rye, look up rye, courtesy of Axe in the Oak, our very own labeled bottle, and it's absolutely delicious. My favorite rye on the planet. So yeah, and then we're also trying to go look for some corporate sponsors right now too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Primer
You will
dot
not
art.
find this bottle anywhere else. It doesn't
can't
even have a
buy it.
SKU. You
Yeah.
can't buy it.
Can't buy it.
Yeah.
So donate to Primer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure. Really quick, I'm
Yeah.
curious about this. What is your address? How
Yes.
how do you address an alley?
It's true.
Yeah.
It is
It
a
is a
Cascade
Cascade
address.
address.
So
It is.
517 South Cascade Avenue, Suite E. So it is at the back. These trolley buildings are so cool. They're really long because they would bring the trolley cars all the way through. So we're at the back, the alley side of that building. So
Okay. And follow the signs. You
follow
guys
the
are
signs.
really
Yeah, we
good
got
about your
A-frame
signage
signs.
too.
We got signage on Cascade. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, just to plug them, best shopping, best drinks, best art in town. There's nowhere else you're ever going to get this experience from our dear friends.
Thank you.
We know our whole entire team just loves going over there and spending time in Yobel and the Lookup Gallery and talking with the artists and learning about the artisans and the stories behind the merchandise. It's just spectacular. Actually, one of my receptionists is carrying one of your purses right
Yes,
now
yes.
and is just in love with the story behind it. And she walks around everywhere like, look at what I've done. But it is. I think that's what you guys provide is that statement and that experience. So this is Season 2, Episode 1 of Show Me Yours with Clay and Emily Ross. Thank you
Thank you so much.
for
Yes.
joining
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Get your fucking asses down. Get a drink and get to know our friends. I promise you they'll be behind the bar. Till next time. See ya.
See ya.